conversation with HR people, one of the terms that comes up every time is being strategic. Well, I hate that word because most people don't know what being strategic is, and certainly most HR departments do not have a strategic plan. So if you're going to have a strategic plan, you have to know why you have it and what it can do. So the first thing is it gives you focus. So instead of wasting time on things that are unimportant, it tells you where to spend your resources. So it tells you what to do more of and what you do less of. You also have to have a bigger impact, and if you're focused, if you're doing things that are strategic, you will have a bigger business impact, which is, of course, the goal of the strategy. Next, you'll avoid duplicate work. So a plan tells you what we're focusing on, and it keeps people in other units from doing the same work. So it tells everybody what their job is and what they're supposed to be working on. It has to be across multiple functions. So if it only impacts HR, it's not strategic. Next, it has to impact business goals. So most HR goals are to hire more people or pay them better or make their engagement scores higher or something like that. But business goals are productivity, profitability, revenue increase, things along that line. So a great strategy starts from and impacts those business goals. Next, probably the most important thing people leave out, they write a strategic plan, but it only talks about what their firm's going to do, but your firm doesn't live in a vacuum. So if you're Google, you have to do a competitive analysis and say, well, what's Yahoo going to do? And when you do something, you have to assume that Yahoo will copy it or make it better. So the next component is a competitive advantage. You need multi-year impact. If it's a one-year impact, it's not strategic, it's tactical. There are 8 elements of a strategic plan. The first one is you start with the business plan. You look at the strategic business plan and you say, what are they trying to do? What are the goals of that plan? And then the executives, how are they measured? And so if they're measured on profitability or inventory turnover or whatever, then you have to say, my plan has to impact those things. You can't reinvent what's important. Next, it's a decision filter. So a plan is not a document on a shelf or a slide presentation. It's a decision. So someone comes in and says, well, should we fund this? You run it through the strategic plan decision criteria, and it tells you whether it fits or it doesn't fit. Next, competitive analysis. I mentioned before, it's not just doing something. The strategic plan causes you to beat the competition. So you compare yourself to the competition, where they're going to be in a year or two, and how you get ahead of them. You have to determine what level of performance you expect. So if you're at Google and you want to be number 1, or if you're an Apple and you want to beat everyone, you have to set those performance expectations before you start your plan, because the tools you use and the approaches you use will change depending on the performance level. Next, you need to identify the superior programs and the approaches that can reach those high goals. Next, you have to identify critical success factors for each program. So if you have, say, a recruiting program or a referral program, in order to be successful, your plan has to identify the critical success factors for each of those program elements. Every goal that you put in your plan, you have to have a measure, so metrics become critical to strategic plans. Make sure that everything you said you do, you did do. And last, you have to have a feedback loop. You have to revise the plan, and as you learn, improve it. So a plan is not a one-year, it's a multi-year thing, so you continually improve. And the premise is by planning, by focusing, by making decisions based on a filter, this will make us best, this will make us beat the competitor. You then improve your business results, improve your HR standing in the company.